this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm back again with that folio that we have been making. We have been doing the build your own folio, you know, craft along with me, and we're doing it step by step, stage by stage together, so that, you know, if you manage to buy a physical kit, which obviously was in a previous video, and who knows, there may be some left, I don't know at the point of filming, but then we could actually make, you know, pretty similar, I'm not saying identical, but pretty similar projects, and do it together. So I hope that you have been enjoying the process so far. I hope you're really pleased with, you know, what you've been making and how it's turning out. I have to say, I've had such a lot of fun with this project. It has just been amazingly, yeah, very, very, very fun. So yeah, I hope that you guys have been enjoying it too. So, and obviously if you didn't buy a physical kit, there's no reason why you couldn't be following along with this with your own, you know, your own materials and your own stuff, anyway. Right, so we're just going to kind of continue on really with the folio as we, you know, as we have been doing. I'm just kind of adding decorative details and things like that to it really. And then we're going to be starting to add ephemera and things to tuck into the pockets and things as well. So, yeah, what I've got here are, these are a packet of the stamped items. And I'm going to just stamp a few of the, you know, of the images. And then we can use some of these in here. Now, what am I doing? Just wondering. I don't normally stamp with a block because, oh, as I mentioned in an earlier video, my block is so filthy. But I've just got this small block, but yeah, it's not going to be big enough to obviously do the label stamp. So, and these stamps as well came in the kit. So if you know, if you bought one of the kits, you will have these label stamps, or not, sorry, they're not label stamps, but these stamps with, you know, including the label. If that makes sense. So I'm going to take the, you know, the label stamp. Just going to put it on my block. Now, like I say, unfortunately, my block's pretty dirty, so I can't really see through it. So I've put it off to the side, so hopefully that will be my guide to where the stamp is. Now, I'm just going to move this out of the way because otherwise I won't actually be able to get a very flat impression. So I'm going to stamp this with, this is that green Impress is the brand, emerald green stamp ink. Now, I've talked about this loads of times before. I've used it, you know, for a long, long time now. I have never seen this brand anywhere, you know, since buying it. Well, I maybe saw it since buying it, but I haven't seen it in recent times. Oops, I've gone off to this side because, of course, I can't see through my block. But I'll just stamp a couple of labels that I can then use. Okay, oh gosh, I'm so rubbish, look. Because I can't see through my block, I'm stamping it right off at the edge. But to be fair, I mean, it's still there enough, so I can still see enough of it to be able to use it. Now, I have also got this car, which I absolutely love. I don't know whether stamping the car in green is, you know, a bit weird, but should we give it a go? I mean, obviously, I had the car book, and I did mention, you know, or I've mentioned quite a few times, you will not have the same book as me if you bought the physical kit. And I know I have said this, and probably like a scratch record, but I just really want to emphasize, you're not going to have the same book as me. So, okay, so that's the car. Really super cute, isn't it? So yeah, let's just ink one more of those, because, you know, I might want more than one. Okay, now, shall I stamp any other colours? I'm not sure. Right, do I want any other of the images? I mean, the only other one that I feel like is going to go with the theme of my, you know, my journal. And again, you know, I'm going with things that I think will kind of fit with my journal. Obviously, you know, if you got one of the kits and you got obviously a different, you know, Ladybird book, which you will have done, you may find, you know, a different stamp would be, or different, yeah, different themed stamps would be what's going to go best in yours. So I'm just using the ones that I think will kind of complement my journal. I did some rubbish stamping there. Very dark on one side, very light on the other side. Never mind. Okay, so yeah, I've just stamped a few of those. So I'm just going to put that back on there. Okay, put these back in the packet. I'm trying to be, a little bit tidy. Honestly, I mean, if you could see my desk, you'd just think, well, what a joke. What does she call untidy? Because my desk is like the worst it's been. The worst it's been since I moved rooms. So yeah, it's not a good state at the moment. But I'm kind of in the middle of a lot of different projects. So in my defence, you know, it's hard to be tidy, isn't it, when you're doing multiple projects, really. But anyway, that's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. Right, so obviously got the labels stamped. So that was the main thing that I was wanting to really use. So let's just cut these down. And again, you know, I've used the green ink because there's quite a lot of green in my folio here, you know, and the green really has kind of been the theme picked up from that car book. So, you know, I can't honestly remember any of the books particularly that were included in the kits. The only two that sort of ring a bell, I'm sure there was a nursery rhyme one, and I'm sure there was a what do you call it, the Wildflowers book. So they're the only two that are kind of, you know, really prominent in my mind that I can really remember. So you might have one of those books, and then, you know, you'd want to maybe adapt your colour ink that you use and things like that. So, you know, and like I say, the, you know, the stamp itself. So how gorgeous does that look? I'm just going to cut it down a bit more because I obviously made a really horrible wonky job of cutting that. So yeah, I mean, that I'm just going to put on there. It just looks gorgeous, doesn't it? And again, it's just adding more journaling space into there. So just going to pop that down, and I'm just going to pop that down with wet glue. Now I might even pop this down as a pocket. I know it sounds ludicrous because it's absolutely teeny weeny, but you know, it just doesn't hurt. So I mean, it would have to be something very tiny going in there, but you know, you never know. We might just find something very tiny that we want to put in there. So just pop that one down like that. Let me get my wipe to press that down. This is a really nice, you know, journaling spot stamp because it's a really nice big one. And if you follow my, you know, my channel at all, you'll know that I really love using like label stamps and things like that, but cut in half. And sometimes, you know, they might not actually be really big enough to use in half, whereas these definitely are. Oh, I can't help but think maybe have a little shoe on there as well. Looks pretty nice, doesn't it? I mean, you know, I wasn't convinced, but then I take the shoe away and I think, oh, actually, yeah, the shoe is, you know, a good addition, isn't it? So yeah, let's just put the shoe down. Oh my goodness, how gorgeous does that look? Love how that looks. Right, okay, so must stop faffing on this page now because it's probably got quite enough. So journaling space here, obviously this is a pocket. Do you remember I, you know, made that mistake and kind of added glue here, but that's fine. I could even cut this off now, you know, if I feel it's a vulnerable point there. So yeah, just kind of get rid of that. Oops. You know, just so it's not then a weak point that's likely to get crumpled and, you know, torn off. So yeah, just kind of got rid of that. Then we did these two bits on the last video. So this car stamp, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, how cute would that look just over there? Now, do I want to tear it or I don't know now. I mean, how ridiculous, because I'm now actually wanting to hoard these. I mean, what is wrong with me? Why would I think that that's, you know, that's necessary to hoard them? I mean, just don't know. I'm actually wondering whether I might be able to make it into a postage stamp. Could have done with, you know, having a bit more rim around it, but let's have a look. So if I take this, I'm just going to cut it down a bit. Like that. I mean, that does look pretty nice, doesn't it? It's got to be said. Yeah, really like that. Now, if I want to make that into a bit of a sort of postage stamp, you know, like a faux postage stamp, just going to get my hair thinning scissors. Okay, and what colour? Oh, what colour do I want to back that onto? That's the question. Just having a look what's laying about on my desk that I could put in. I mean, obviously, because it's my desk, there is an awful lot of stuff all over it. I mean, unless I just back it onto sort of one of these. That might be quite nice, mightn't it? I mean, seems a bit wasteful to use one of these. Yeah, it's a bit wasteful to use one of these, I feel. Obviously, I have got that vintage ephemera in the envelope, which we haven't used yet. Oh my goodness, not that I can see where that envelope is, because it's well and truly buried, it's got to be said. No, that's not it. Yeah, should never really start a project with, you know, this amount of stuff all over the desk, to be honest. Let's put in one of these. So, just got these little ones. Kind of thinking could definitely, yeah, stick it on one of those. So what I might do is just ink this up a little bit so it's, actually I'm going to stick it on first. So do I want to stick it on first? I'm just struggling to make any sort of decisions today. What is that about? Yeah, I have had breakfast, so I can't use that as an excuse. I'm just struggling generally. Okay. Right, so we put that down onto there. Just check I'm using the right piece, because I might have some others. These are all quite delicate and pale pieces. So yeah, I think I will just put it onto this one. And then I'm just going to, yeah, glue this down. Okay. Just glue it this way around. Okay, like that. And then I'm just going to cut this out with my hair thinning scissors, which will then, you know, get that, not jaggedy edge, but the, you know, like scissory type, you know, stampy type edge. Oh, I think my scissors are a bit blunt. I probably need to do them with some, you know, tin foil. Although, to be fair, I mean, I've never tried tin foil with these hair thinning scissors. I'm not really too sure whether it would work brilliantly, but yeah, might need to try it because they are not really working brilliantly. Okay. Right, well, I did not make a very good job of that. Let me just trim around all the edges that, you know, I didn't really make a good job of at all. Okay. Get rid of these two. Okay. And then just, yeah, going to ink around this a bit more. Okay. Or could even have it over there. I mean, I really like it down there, but I feel like this needs some stuff as well. So, yeah, might have to come back to that. Right, so I'm just going to pop this down. Again, just going to use my hot glue because, you know, it's nice and quick and easy, and then I just know that it's stuck down. I don't have to be worrying about it. So, like that. Okay, now I think there's a postmark type stamp in here. Yep. Which, yeah, I can't really see. I can't honestly see whether that's got some sort of picture in it, but anyway, I'm sure it's fine. So just going to use that over the top of that stamp. So now I'm going to use it with my black stays on. And I mean, I know I talk about this all the time, but yeah, I mean, I just really love the black stays on. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but yeah, for me, I always love it. So, right, I don't know which is my older one. I normally always write on the stays on when I buy it, you know, the date, so that I keep a track of which one is older, because I tend to keep them for a while so that I can then use them. I don't know really. So that I can then use them another time for, like, say, edging around things. Now, of course, I've no clue. Oh dear. Well, that's quite inky still, so yeah, let's just go for that. So just take this across here. There we go. So stamp that down like that. Okay, right, let's get my stays-ons out the way. Yeah, I do feel like I need something up here, but I'm not quite sure yet what I would like. Although I have got the wax pellets, which you also do get in the kit. So let's bring those in and do a wax seal. So yeah, okay. So I'm just going to get all my little bits and bobs that I need. So yeah, okay. Right, now these wax pellets, I mean, with this particular kit, I did talk about this, they are sort of greens, you know, shades of greens that you've got here. I mean, it's worked out fortunate, and I did not plan this intentionally, but, you know, my kit just happened, or, you know, my book just happened to have quite a lot of greens. But yeah, I mean, you know, because you've got lots of different shades, I'm pretty sure you could kind of get, you know, other colours if you wanted other sorts of colours. So let's just pop that in, and I think I want one other. Maybe this one. Yeah, let's use those and see. Hope for the best that I'm going to get, you know, a good shade of green that's going to go. Just want to kind of finish it off, just so as I have something up here, because I feel like it needs, you know, needs a decorative item of some sort. So let me just get one of my paper clips. I just like to stir these around a little bit with the paper clip, just while they're melting like that. Okay, right. So yeah, then we'll come on to here now. Yeah, thinking probably, yeah, I mean, we can definitely go through this, can't we, and then make ephemera. So I just don't want to kind of really bore everybody, but you know, then I think some people do like to see everything. So I mean, perhaps we could make a little bit of ephemera as we go. So I'm just going to pull out a couple of these bits. So, and these are just from this little packet here. I'll just put those back so that I don't mix them up. Well, not mix them up, but lose them. Let's face it, just misplace them completely around the desk because it's so messy. Right, give that a stir. Okay. Okay, right. Not sure whether that's quite melted, but hopefully it's good enough. So I'll just pour that there. Okay, let's get this flame off. I always feel just so nervous, to be honest, because my desk's so messy, you know. I always feel relieved once the flame goes out, and it's kind of like, oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness, crisis averted, and the flame is now put out. Okay. So yeah, while we're just waiting for that, let's just kind of make a little piece of a ephemera here. So I've got these couple of little sort of, you know, pieces. Now, where is my envelope? That's the question, of my vintage stuff. I would love to use some of that. Oh, here it is. Right. I knew it was here somewhere, but yeah, just kind of had dropped off to the side of the desk. So let's just pull in something from here. Maybe some document. Oh my goodness, how yummy does this look? Maybe even maybe a bit of book page behind there. Maybe not. Oh yeah, maybe that. Yeah, that looks really pretty, doesn't it? So yeah, just going to kind of have those bits there. Now these are not coffee dyed, it's got to be said. Can't help but think I should have coffee dyed them. Oh, there we go, there's my wax seal. Okay, so yeah, pretty because it's obviously picking up all the lovely greens from here. You know, it's a kind of bit of a grassy green, which obviously picks up the greens from those trees. So yeah, I like how that looks. I have got some coffee dye, so let me just pull in the coffee dye here. Right, oh, my daughter's been at my brushes, so they're like really stiff now. So yeah, not really going to do a very good job of obviously painting on my coffee. But anyway, we'll give it a try. So, oh gosh, no. Not the best trying to paint them with a stiff brush, so okay, just go over the front and the back, I think. So that one, okie, and this one. Okay, right, okay. I wonder whether I should just leave that in there soaking now, so that hopefully it will be, you know, softened up by leaving it in the coffee. I don't know. Right, let's just get rid of this. Okay. Right, I've just put these onto my heat gun for a moment just to kind of dry, but I will just quickly dry them with the heat tool. Okay. Right, okay, so they are done, and yeah, I'm just going to kind of cluster them up a little bit like this and there, and just staple them together. So that was just using, you know, one of those little packets of ephemera pieces and a couple of the pieces of the vintage ephemera. So if you were kind of following along, you know, that's the pieces that I've just literally put them in together like that. But they're all plain on the back except for the book page. So of course you can journal on the back of all of those little bits and bobs. So they're just quite pretty, aren't they? And then at the top of there, just having a look to see what I've got at the that I can just kind of put on the top of this. So or I could just actually have one of the flowers. So let's just take one of those green ones. Okay, oops. Yeah, just kind of like put that up on the top there. I mean, obviously that's a bit creased now because of the coffee dyeing, so it is wanting to kind of, you know, sit upwards, but that's fine. So yeah, we could put that in the envelope here, provided I've not stuck it down. Right. Okay, looking good. So at least we've done, you know, one piece of ephemera there. Right, let's open this up. So on here, I wonder what I did with the other half of that label that I cut. Aha, here it is. So I'm thinking here we could have maybe the other half of that label. So I like how that looks. So we're just kind of, you know, decorating and, yeah, putting anything that looks pretty. Obviously, I'm not going to put this down as a, you know, pocket or anything because it's tiny. So I'm just going to put that like that. Okay. Yeah, I love how that looks. Now, did we want to have a label or anything on that? Just thinking, because, you know, will that pick up the blue from the sky? Yeah. Let's do that. And these are obviously all the fussy cut pieces that you got in the fussy cut pack. And again, I know I'm just constantly, you know, repeating myself, but all the fussy cut packs, they're all going to be slightly different. You know, I can't guarantee that you're going to get the identical pieces that I've got here. You know, because, yeah, obviously everything's going to kind of be, you know, slightly different. But, you know, hopefully you will just have a lot of nice things to use. So I'm just going to pull these in. Oh, do you know, I should have now coffee dyed that one. I have my coffee dye over here on the desk. And I could have dried it all together, but I'm thinking that could go in there. And there's that other small packet again. Oh gosh, where have I put that? Oh, I don't know, but actually, let's just see what this would look like if we have a hot air balloon attached to it. Or maybe at the side. That's quite cute, isn't it? That side. Has this got a right way and a wrong way? Yep, I think that's the right way. So yeah, I'm just going to staple that onto that side. Actually, just before I do that. Oh, do you know, I'm going to have to coffee dye that because that's going to just irritate me not being coffee dyed. So yeah. Oh. Yeah. You know, kind of you think, oh, I'll just go for it. But actually, there's no point because I will never feel quite happy if I don't actually coffee dye it. You know, I'm going to always look at that and think, oh gosh, that's, you know, sort of stark and bright compared to everything else. So yeah, let's quickly coffee dye that. Well, hey, my brush has softened up a little bit. It's not great, but certainly getting there. So yeah. Okay, just do a bit out the front as well. This obviously, it doesn't really need coffee dyeing, but I'll just go around it a bit only because it will give it a, not a crumpled texture, but you know, it will have slight creasing going on, which will then obviously, you know, make it sort of match this piece better. So let's just do that. Okay, right, let me get rid of that coffee. Right, let's just quickly dry these off. Okie dokie. Well, I've now torn it. Again, I mean, I don't really mind things like that, to be honest. I almost think it sort of adds to, you know, the charm of it by being torn. But, you know, you might want to be a bit more careful with yours if you don't like things like that. But, yeah, personally, I think it's kind of quite nice. But okay, nearly done. I mean, really, I could do with ironing these now, but I'm not going to. So, yeah, I'm just going to kind of leave them as they are. They're a little bit soggy still. It's got to be said. They probably could do with being dried a little bit more than I have, but never mind. Let's just go for it. So, might just use, again, another piece of vintage document. Just need to check that this will still fit in that pocket. Oh, it's not going to. It's got a bit long now, hasn't it? I have got this vintage sheet music, which is quite nice. Yeah, shall we do that? Okay. So just going to, again, staple these together on that side. So like that. Oops. Oh, what have I done with my stapler now? Underneath the folio. Right. It's very cute, doesn't it? So I'm going to have to just quickly dry this a bit more because otherwise it's just Just going into the pocket soggy, which doesn't feel quite right. So, okay. And I mean, like I say, this could obviously really do with, you know, being ironed, but I'm just going to go for it as it is without ironing. So yeah, right. So let's just pop that into there. Oops. Okay, and that obviously goes down over there like that. Right, let me trim this down slightly because it's a bit tall even now. So yeah, that other document definitely would have made it way too tall. So yeah, pop that down like that. Okay, yeah, really loving how that looks. And then obviously the flap comes down and we were closing that over that butterfly, you know, under that butterfly wing. So it's got a little closure there as well. Excuse me, I've got a terrible frog in my throat. Do we want to have a flower or anything on here? Loving these flowers, I must say. So yeah, let's just have a look. I mean, that's quite cute over there, isn't it? Okay, like that. Okay, now I have to say I have got this big boot here, oops, which I'm now actually thinking, could we have that in that pocket at the back? Yeah, we could have just the boot in the pocket. I mean, that's really lovely, isn't it? Again, I need to obviously ink the boot up because you know, currently that boot is then white on the back. Oh, do you know, I'm now thinking, oh, why didn't I do that? Oh, right, let's just have a look and check that I couldn't now have this somewhere. Oh, that's really annoying because, yeah, it would cover anything up, wouldn't it? Yeah. Oh, how annoying is that? Just check. Yeah. No, I think I'm going to put the boot, yeah, just maybe into a pocket. You know, just as the naked boot. Do we think? Oh, maybe I shouldn't. I'm going to hang on to the boot because, yeah, of course, that's in my nature to just hoard everything. But yes, we may want to use it further down. So let's just quickly create something for here. So should we maybe make a big tag or something to go in there? So yeah, just going to bring in some of my background paper. I'm still waiting for the postman, would you believe? Yep. This is now a couple of days on. Still waiting for the postman. So I'm still not really able to print anything to be able to, you know, do more stuff, which is really annoying. But anyway, I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, it's not helpful. Not helpful when you're waiting for things, is it? So I'm just gauging how tall that is. So, I mean, obviously I wouldn't want to tag that tall. Well, you could, but yeah, I'm going to cut it down a bit like that. I mean, I do love a giant tag, but that was probably a bit too ginormous even by my standards. Now, I've got some buff coloured card. Do I want to use that? Probably not, actually. I've got some coffee dyed green card, not coffee dyed, food coloured green card. So I'm just going to back it onto here. So I'm going to move the folio completely out of the way. Like that, okay. So again, you know, if you're following along, I'm just literally taking some of the background pages from the, you know, the digital background pages that you got on your USB stick. And again, you know, you've got, a little variety of papers to use, so you do not have to be using what I'm using. Just cut it down, you know, pretty large, and I'm just backing it onto basically anything that's thicker. So mine happens to be this food coloured paper. You may have, you know, you might have plain paper of some variety that you maybe would choose to use. But that's all that I'm doing here to be able to make a tag. And I do like, you know, I do like a sturdy tag. So I mean, again, if you're not that fussed, you might not be fussed if yours is, you know, single thickness. Probably not single thickness as in copy paper thickness. I mean, that would be, you know, ridiculously flimsy, but you know, it might not bother you too much if it's not kind of on card. You may just be happy with, you know, some sort of thickish paper. but I do like a, you know, thick sturdy tag, so just going to cut that down. Hopefully make it look a little bit straighter than it currently does. Take that in a little bit more. Right, cut that down. Okay, right, let's do my triangles. Okay, right. Get rid of these bits into the bin. So just decorate up this tag now, just, you know, so it's going to look pretty somewhere on the page. So I might even just take this section down off here. I do always prefer a torn edge, so you know, that's again just personal preference, but yeah, I just prefer a torn edge really. So I might just have that there. I want it right down the bottom maybe even. Okay, so let's just pop this on. Okay, pop that down like that. Oops. Okay. Like that. And then let's have a look and see what do we want to have on here. So I'm just going to see what things I've got left from the Ladybird book. Or indeed I might pull in, you know, maybe some of the fussy cut pieces. So got this for instance here. Oops. Yeah, just wondering whether I could even have these trees in the background. I know that's a bit strange, but yeah, they might look quite good, mightn't they? So I'll just put them like that. I mean, it's a shame because it is covering up those gorgeous background papers, but having said that, it does look quite pretty, doesn't it? Yeah, I do quite like it. I wonder if I should cover all of that. Maybe less of it even. So yeah, let's pop this down. Okay. So yeah, just got that whole, you know, that whole head kind of thing shown there. Okay, and yep, this one here. I do like that butterfly. Now I'm just deciding what else that might need. I'm wondering whether it could have one of the labels. Oops. I'm just going to bring the folio back in because sometimes, you know, I need to just keep it fresh in my mind of the colours and the things that I've got kind of going on in here. So this is going to be going in over here. I just want to kind of, you know, keep it, yeah, fresh in my mind as what colours and what things that I've got actually on here. So let me just see. I might prefer the red label. I mean, that's quite nice, isn't it? Yeah, quite like that. And then just wondering. Or do I like the blue? Oh, the blue I think is quite nice. So yeah, like that. So I'm just going to put, I think, this down. I'm just wondering whether I want any more of that green lace. Let me just bring that in. I'm just going to cut this down just so I'm working with a smaller bit, because otherwise it's kind of hard to keep dragging it in, you know, onto the desk. So okay. I'm thinking cut this here like that. Oh gosh, not quite like that because that's very wonky now. Not looking great. Right. But I'm thinking maybe have like that as a tab. Oops, a tab up there. And maybe even the blue bow on there. It's quite a nice journal card, isn't it? So yeah. Now, do I want to have this as a pocket? So we could, yeah, we could have this as a little side pocket. So just put that down like that. And again, you know, then you've just got the option to use it or not. So I know it's really boring hearing me say that, but I just really like to have the option, really. So just wondering now whether I want to have a bit of that green stamping anywhere. So put the lace on here as the tab at the top. Oops. Come on. Oh my goodness, talk about wonky. Did not put that very straight. Oh well. Right, okay. And I will glue the back in a moment, but I'll just leave it like that for the minute. Now, what have I done with those stamped images? Okay. Where did I use the hot air balloon? Oh, it was in that other stuff, wasn't it? So, yeah, I'll just take this hot air balloon down. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? Yeah, I quite like that hot air balloon being on there. Now, do we want that on a bit of lace as well? Just to kind of make it stand out a bit more. And it's standing out okay, isn't it, to be fair, but... Right, I'm just going to glue this down. Okay, actually I'm just going to ink around the edges a bit. I've inked around the edges every time I've used these stamped images so far, so yeah. And I'm not saying I'm going to remember to do that every single time, I probably won't, but yeah, I'll just try at least now. Right, so I'm going to glue this onto the lace. Okay. Oops. Right, just going to have to do this down here on the lower part of my desk, so I do apologise it's not in view. Okay. So, yeah, let me just cut this one down now. Oops. Yeah, maybe like that. Oh, how pretty does that look? Yeah, really, really love how that looks. So, I mean, to be honest, I even quite like it without the butterfly. And so now I'm wondering whether I might prefer a flower or something on there. Let's just have a look. I mean, I haven't used any of these roses anywhere, but there's, you know, no reason why we couldn't. So just because I haven't so far doesn't mean we can't in a minute. Let me just bring in one of these. Well, let me bring in a couple of these actually. I mean, do we think that looks really odd? Is everyone like, oh no, she's lost the plot with that? Or do we think it looks quite cute? Let me just try just doing one now. Well, let me put those there. Let's just bring just one in. And we're having the blue bow up there, weren't we? And did we say yes to a label or no? I can't remember now. Or, actually, got those stamped labels, so could even incorporate this. So again, you know, if you've got the physical kit, you know, you could be making, you know, an identical kind of tag obviously you have got different bits in your fussy cut pack and you have got a different ladybird book. But, you know, the concept of what we're doing, you could definitely kind of make, you know, yourself as well. So just going to cut this down, you know, because wherever I use this, I'm sure it will be in a half rather than as a full thing. Yeah, what about like that? That's quite nice, isn't it? I mean, I think I'm probably, what's going on here is I'm hoarding the butterfly. I mean, why? Why would I need to do that? No idea. But that is exactly what I think I'm doing. Just hoarding that big butterfly, which is crazy behaviour. Absolutely crazy, but okay. So that one, we're going to have the flower maybe down there. Oh, I keep turning this over and then I can't tell which is the right way and which is the wrong way. I think that's the right way. Okay, like that. Yep. Right, then we're going to just put this down. Okay. Again, just spread that glue. Right, so that's over there now. Okay, right, looking good. Okay, I just want to just make sure that I'm going with the right colour bow in a minute. So I'm just going to glue this, you know, the tab down at the back. And then I just want to check that I'm going with the right colour using a blue bow and that I wouldn't prefer a different coloured one. So, yeah, like that. I do like having the lace tab, I must say. Always find that really nice to use. And I've also got the bling, so I'm just going to cut that down because I also do really quite like doing this type of thing, you know, where you've got lace. I often quite like to just have a lace bit, a bling bit. So yeah, I might even do that, to be honest. Yeah, we haven't had any other bling, have we, yet on this folio? And again, you know, you might find you do or you don't want bling depending on the ladybird book that you're using. I mean, obviously I kind of perhaps had subconsciously avoided the bling because the cars, it felt like quite masculine. But now it's evolving. It's kind of like going a little bit more feminine. So yeah, let's include the bling because I always love using it. So yeah. And hey, there's no rules, you know, just because this is car themed doesn't mean you can't have bling, does it? You know, it's really just about what you think looks nice, you know, how you want it to look. You don't have to follow any rules whatsoever. So I'm going to put that bit of bling over there. So do let me know below what you're thinking, you know, how you're enjoying the project, how you're finding the, you know, the videos, are they kind of at the right pace? And yeah, if you are just loving what you're creating, you know, really hope that you're having a lovely experience and, you know, just, yeah, creating something that you absolutely love. Because of course that's, you know, that's what it's all about. It's just creating something that you really, really do love. I do like this flower on here, but I can't quite fathom where is the best place to put it. So I might have to not have it anywhere just because I can't quite decipher, you know, where's the right place to put it. So, I mean, unless I have it up there. Well, I don't want things to look like they're in a line, which maybe they do a bit at the moment. Perhaps I'll leave the flower. Very tempted to do a line of green ink around here. Now my only issue with that is because this ink is very juicy and I don't want to do it and then it'd be smudgy. So I'm going to try, and then I might have to dry it with the, you know, my heat tool, just to make sure it's not smudgy. I have to say it's not really showing up particularly. Yeah, I'll try and put a bit more on. So it's perhaps showing off a little bit more than it currently is, but oops, a bit more or a lot more in that case. So yeah, like that. Yeah, just kind of needed that, didn't it, to bring it out of itself, I think. So yeah, I probably will dry that with the heat tool before I tuck it into that pocket, because I'm worried it may just, you know, smudge across everything on here because it's quite wet. But yeah, and I might just pop that last bit of bling. Do we want it on the butterfly, or do we want it maybe here? Or maybe, oops, maybe even on this side. Yeah, maybe. Oh, I don't know, or maybe not at all. I mean, we've got the bling there, we've got the bling on the tag, so that's probably good enough, isn't it? So, yeah. So that's probably it for today. You know, we've actually made quite a bit of progress. We've filled a couple of the pockets and things, and we've obviously done some decorating. So I'm going to leave it there for today, and we will come back and do some more on this journal, or this folio, sorry, hopefully tomorrow. I don't know obviously what the schedule upload will be, so what day of the week it will be, but yeah, we will be back to do some more in this. So have fun, everyone, and thank you so much for watching. See you guys tomorrow. Thanks then. Bye.